Hello, my friends. I'm in a bit of a different location right now, and I was guided to do this reading right now. I mean, really, I couldn't wait a moment longer. I'm so in the flow right now. The weather, the sky, the energy, the people, everything around me is pointing to the time is now for this reading. The sky is growing dark, and it's just a representation and reflection of so many energies that are shifting and coming to a point right now to welcome in the new moon, which is tomorrow. But as you know, the energies are always upon us 2 days before. They're kind of seeping in. And right now, it's like an initiation of initiations. New moons are initiations because they initiate the new cycle. So I call the new moon readings the initiation activation because it very much is an activation. This reading provides a map, essentially, to move through this part of the cycle, which is the beginning. And so today is 333, March 3rd, 2019. 2019 reduced to a single digit is a 3. So it's a special portal, and it's like a representation of the energy we've been experiencing for a couple of weeks now, where we've been feeling very like this, we're in this in-between energy, we're in between worlds, kind of suspended in air before we step into the new, which is going to begin tomorrow. Mercury goes retrograde today, so that's a nice little twist to start us off with the certainty that we will remain present and patient and do things from a place of fresh perspective so that we're not acting out of habit. So this new cycle, we cannot bring in anything from the old. We just can't. The universe won't allow it because we are going to be so shaken up right here, right now, that by the time the moon is fully new, we also will be. We will have no choice. So I'm going to begin setting up. I'd love for you guys to tune into the energy you feel right now of the collective. This is a reading for the collective consciousness. It's also a reading for the individual because they are one. We are one. So tune into the energy you feel not only within your own body, but in the whole, and know that you're not alone. Everything you're feeling, we're feeling too. So let's call in those archetypal energies that want to reveal to us the messages that need to be known right now in the form of a map to guide us through the initiation phase of this new moon cycle, which is a microcosmic reflection of a much bigger cycle, the wheel of which we're all a part. The moon is just, it's nothing to get stuck on. It's yet another reflection of the one of which we're all a part. So we're just using that light of the moon to reflect to us what stage we are at within the great cycle as a unified collective and also as individuals. Whew, we've been going through a lot of stuff, and I know it looks like there's no way we're going to make it through the eye of the needle to the other side. Although many of you know we are. Thank goodness you're carrying that confidence and trust and faith for all of us. Thank you. But for those of you who feel like there's no way you could fit through that eye of this needle because of all the stuff that you've got going on, let it go or watch it be dropped. Create the space. Minimize your stuff. Be simple. Nothing's going to fit through that gate but you. Only what is true. The rest is through. So go ahead and whatever things you have on your mind or things that you've been carrying with you, energies, thoughts, beliefs that are just recycling over and over through your mind, through your being. Just drop it for a second, just for this moment. Just for this moment. So that we can create a space for the wisdom to come in. If we just ask and ask and ask and ask, we're always just going to ask and ask. We have to ask and then surrender and create a space to receive. If we're always talking, we'll never listen. This is the same thing. So let's ask and then let's let go and create a space together for the answers to come in. What's happening right now for the collective? What is this intense energy that we feel? How can we best be guided through it so that we can have a joyful experience where we can surrender to what is happening, for we know it is for the greatest good of us all. Okay, so we're stepping out. Here, go ahead and put your energies in if you haven't yet. Have fun with it. So we're stepping out of a cycle. Okay, we're leaving behind the old cycle, last month cycle, representing a much larger past cycle. That will be for that. We're stepping into a cycle represented by this archetypal energy. The bridge to get there is this, which means the challenges and their transmutation as gifts. And then an ally to remember. Okay, we have 2 wands, 1 pentacles, and a major arcana, and the major arcana is right in the center. So the first card, I'll show you guys. The first card is the 3 of Pentacles. And this is the card of work on the material plane. Work on the material plane. We've been working together with people, teamwork, a lot of Aquarian energy on the rise. We've been working, building together. We're leaving that behind. Okay, we're stepping into a new stage now. And it looks like the future is the 5 of Wands. Wands is spirit and fire. This is the card of competition, and you can see that they are fighting with their wands, but no one's actually hurt. Everyone's fine. And this is the idea that we have to put ourselves out there. There's a healthy competition when we put ourselves out there and we, hit each other with our wands. No, when we rub our ideas off of one another. Because that heat can be a very good thing. That friction creates heat, it creates light. So as long as we're all in it together, which we are whether we want to be or not, as long as we remember this unity, then we have the understanding, the initial understanding that all of this is in good fun. And all of this is for the one to rise up. So yeah, let's rub our ideas off on each other. Let's compete. Let's compete healthily. And not be afraid. And let's be good sports about it. The Heyoka has been a huge symbol lately, a huge archetypal energy that is very present in the collective and in the individual mind right now. There's a post about it on my wall if you'd like to check it out. It's the Heyoka. You could also look it up. Heyokaah. And this is the idea that we should be good sports and learn from all sides, learn from all angles. Yeah, so we're moving into the stage right now where we may have felt like we were needing to work together. We were right, but working together means many things. We're working in multiple dimensions. We're multidimensional beings. We're all one from beginning to the illusory end. We're all one. And so we're working together whether we want to or not. So let's work together in every way possible. Let's hit every angle. Let's really make the most of this experience here. Okay, the challenge from the past to the future. So this is the bridge that we're walking right now to get to the future. Is temperance. And this is involving purpose, patience, trust in divine timing, career, forward movement. It's a lot of Capricornian energy. So right now it's about trusting that as we move forward, we're heading in the right direction. Relax a little bit. Remember that, like I said in the beginning, even when it feels like you have too much, that you can't fit through the eye of the needle, that you won't be able to cross through and over to the other side, into the new cycle. Oh, I'll never get through this. I have so much baggage. Even when you feel like this, especially when you feel like this, It's important to surrender and trust that exactly where I am is exactly where I should be. Trust in right timing. Everything will get sorted out in perfect timing. It's already all sorted. It's just a matter of our judgment or our perspective on the situation that makes us feel like we're out of order, or like there's some sort of chaos that wasn't divinely planned. And the ally card, the final card, is the Seven of Wands. And this is the card of making sure, so the ally card is the card that wants to stay with us as we cross this bridge and onto the future. And I love that it is a Wands card because we're stepping into a future of Wands. So it's showing me that we're going to have a lot of spiritual work to do, that we're going to have a lot of work coming up that's going to involve expansion of the spirit. It's deep stuff. It's deep stuff, okay? It's about our life paths, our purpose. So as we move forward, the Seven of Wands is the archetypal energy that wants us to remember that it's important to stand up for yourself. Okay, even if you have all these wands against you, you have one in your hand. And it's quality, not quantity, okay? Just with the one, you have it all. Because in the one is all things. So yes, stand up for yourself. Whether these people are cheering you on or they're against you, it doesn't matter. In the end, you still have to follow your truth. The only thing that would stop you is fear. So if you're about to go out there to a room full of people and somebody says to you, there's a lot of angry people out there, you might not ever step out into that room. But in that room is the treasure, something that you really want or need. So knowing that we have to stand up for ourselves and speak our truth and act on it, because fire is action, movement. We must do this, whether there's a crowd of angry people against us and our ideas, or there's a room of people cheering us on. We can't be distracted by the idea or the ego's idea of an audience that loves us and wants to support us, or an audience that is going to hate what we have to say. Why are we getting distracted on whether or not people are going to love us when we should just be focusing on our truth and putting all of our energy into formulating a plan to be able to express that truth in a way that's going to unfold for the highest good of the one, which is all of us. This is a huge message. I feel this is like the main point of this shifting energy we're feeling right now in this new moon as we move ahead. Focus on speaking your truth. Let's focus on speaking our truth. Let's eliminate any energy that we were wasting on worrying whether or not people were going to accept that truth. Let's take back that power and put it all, every bit we've got, into the examination, the self-examination of what truth really is. And ultimately, we align with that and express it. It sounds like an efficient plan to me. What do you guys think? So this is really important as we move forward to the future. And you can see the connection here, okay? We have a 5 and a 7. You can see as we move to the future of competition, we must remember that it's healthy competition and it's all for the one. We are both sides. So as we call this forward, knowing that it's what we must do, because we've got to get our ideas out there, you guys. We've got to start speaking our truth, all of us, so that once we get it all out, we can find that healthy fusion. No matter what it takes to get to that, we've got lifetimes. We have an eternity. It doesn't matter. All that's real never dies. Anything shitty that could come out of that will just fade away and be impermanent. So what do we have to lose? Yes, let's get our truth out there, please. Let's get our truth out there and speak it so that we can come together. Because even if it takes us falling apart or separating, we will eventually come back together out of that separation. Sometimes we need to fall hard to rise up higher. You know what I'm saying? This is in reflection of our divine story, our roots, our DNA. This is our pattern. We fall to rise, to fall to rise again. Jacob's ladder, stairway to heaven, whatever you want to call it. So let's remember that. Let's remember that I'm dropping you guys. I'm getting so excited. Let's remember that as we call forth this necessary war or competition, may we this time call forth something that we're so used to, like war, yet trick ourselves and our collective consciousness into thinking we're stepping into this war and like, yeah, it's us versus us, but then remembering that, no, this is a healthy war. This is a war of the mind where we come together in such an interesting way like never before. We come together, yes, to argue, but it's more like a debate. We have to speak our truth to get anywhere, right? So let's face this first step without fear. It's inevitable, so let's just, yeah, bring it on. If no one can really get hurt in the end, because it's all spirit and all that's real never dies, then let's call on the necessary. Yeah, raise hell. Whatever needs to come to get to that heaven, let's get it over with now. What do you say? I'm really feeling that energy. Another side of this card, the ally, as we move into that, is not, and this is very important, this is just as important as what we just discussed, do not waste your energy when it's unnecessary. Do not waste our energy when it's unnecessary. We're a collective consciousness. We need to do this together in every way because there's no other way. And so if we model everything around this truth, we will ultimately be successful, sustainably so. There's no greater way than together. The other side of this card, like I was about to say, is that we should not waste our energy on unnecessary pursuits or futile pursuits, okay? We need to reserve all of our energy to stand up for our truth when it's absolutely best for the highest good of the one. It either is or it isn't, you guys, so just tune in and you'll know. There's a word for this in Hebrew, it's lishma. This is for the sake of the Creator, which is the one, all of us as one. So it's either lishma or it's lo lishma. You know. Every time, any question you could have, should I eat this? Should I do this? Should I say this? Should I pray this? You know. It's either for the highest good of the one or it's not. Lishma or lo lishma. What do you say? So do this as you move forward and you know that now is a time we must speak our truth. Check in with yourself every time you're about to say something. Is it necessary? Is it kind? Is it purposeful? You know. Think of these things, but not just think, is it necessary? Is it kind? Is it purposeful? You know, is it for the sake of the Creator or not? Is it for the one or not? This is your built-in, your innate guidance system. So we have to do this right now, you guys. As we move forward, knowing that it's important for us to envision and call upon that truth rising up and out. May we also be equally as discerning for when the ego wants to come up and out. Knowing really when to be quiet and when to speak up. And having the wisdom to know that both could be doing the very same thing of bringing us closer to a higher vibration for the collective. Sometimes it looks like silence, and sometimes it looks like being really loud. But it's not up to us to decide the volume. Thank goodness, because when we start to think that, things get really chaotic. If we just tune in to our surroundings and tune in to our heart and its connection to those surroundings, we will always have our answer. What is needed for the highest good of the one right now? Is it time to speak up or is it not? Because those are the lessons we're learning right now as we move to the future. Temperance is all about that. Trust in right timing. It's not like we as humans should set these like, okay, so at so-and-so time, I'm going to blow up on this person. And when this person says this to me, then I'm going to say this. And no planning necessary. Trust in the right timing. Be in the flow. Be in the in-between. Surrender what you think you know, and the signs will be everywhere. They'll show you when to speak up. They'll tell you how loud to be. They'll hold you back like 1,000 angels when you're about to say something that does not have our highest good in its heart or lack of. So the signs are everywhere. You'll know when to say something and when not to say something. You'll know what to say. Review it in your mind. Better safe than sorry. If you don't feel it, don't say it. Okay, so yes, it's about the truth coming up and out, but it's also about the truth coming up and out in a way that is for the highest good of the one. Yes, the truth coming out is for the highest good of the one, but it's also about when. Not in reflection of our illusory perception of time and space, but in order of the divine unfolding. The divine has a plan that is based on an imprint that created all of us and everything. And so there are signs within this code that will be revealed through all things. It is every moment. And when we tune into that, we can literally read these codes as language to let us know now's the time to act. Oh no, don't say that now. Yes, although this feels like it needs to come up and out, there's also a part of me that feels like sit with this and trust that you're going to refine it. There's a missing piece, and perhaps later tonight you're going to have a conversation with someone and that missing piece will be put in, and then you'll feel it and you'll know now is the time. And all of a sudden you'll start to see flowers blossom, and the people you wanted to tell will come right up to your door or call your phone, and it's effortless. That's another thing. It's effortless, okay? It flows to you. The opportunities flow to you. If you have to resist so much, then the chances are you're not learning the lessons we need to learn right now to be able to prepare yourself for what is to come. And the way to prepare ourselves for what is to come is to learn the lessons of these two things right now. They are our friends. Trust in right timing, speak up when you need to, and hold back when you need to. But the point is, the truth is coming up and out now, and we needn't be afraid because we're all in this together. We know that. So let's say, God, bring it on. I welcome this divine plan that we wrote a long time ago, that's written in the stars and it's written in my DNA. I'm ready for this big shift. We're all here together, and we're ready to continue this war, but recognize it for what it really is at its roots, and recognize ourselves as all of the archetypes within, and each other as all of those archetypes as well. And when we do that, we access an archetypal language, which is the universal language that repairs the energy of the Tower card or the disruption. It puts it back together, puts the Tower back together. So like the Tower of Babel, you guys, this is the remedy. The archetypal language, the universal language, it's the remedy. It's the cement to repair the bricks of the tower of disruption that we've all been experiencing. So let's access those archetypes, and let's remember, this is not our story. This is not our story as humans. This is our story as energies. As bipolar energies. So we don't have to be offended anymore. We don't have to be angry anymore. We don't have to hold on to shame or guilt or blame. Because it's not our story. How silly. We've been like getting lost in this play. Instead, let's learn how we are playing those roles. And let's write a new script. Let's use the archetypal universal language to let go of all of those things that have been limiting us from unifying and repairing. Tikkun olam. Have you ever heard of that? It's repairing the world. Tikkun. T-I-K-K-U-N. Olam. O-L-A-M. World. It's the healing of the world. It's the correction of the world. Let's do that. That's what we're here to do. So bring it on, all this war, which we're so used to and very familiar with. We are the emperor. We are that archetype too, all of us. But we're also the higher mind. And we're also the heart. We're all of it. So let's go into that. Let's use the energies of what are here right now, the emperor energies, this war energy. Let's use what we know, and then from there, alchemize, because we're the magician too. And let's transform the old war into the new with awareness of what it really is, so that we can finally make peace and sign this treaty. It's time. All we need to do is recognize that no matter how hard we try to divide, we never will, and surrender to that. And in surrendering to that, we surrender to no one other than the self, and that feels really good. You can't surrender to anyone but yourself, so why are you afraid to surrender? Why are you afraid? I bow. I bow to you. I'm not afraid, because nothing that I could bow to is separate from me. So let's surrender to the thing that we're all a part of. Let's go to war just so that we can sign the treaty. Let's remember what this war really is, you guys. Remember, don't waste your precious energy on fighting a fight that's not worth it. And there are many illusions around this too. People are looking at these perspectives from their own angles and from their different lenses of perception, okay? And so some people are seeing this energy of like, oh, don't fight an unnecessary fight. Whoever's not saved yet by Jesus, just let him go. Or like, oh, don't bother talking to, that Christian or that Jew or that, that Catholic or that Buddhist, whatever. Don't bother talking to them. They're lost. They don't know. Don't fight that fight. No, that's coming from ego. That is. Because that's not a unifying statement. That's not a unifying understanding. Okay? And then some people will see this as war. They'll walk into it fighting thinking like, this is it, I'm ready to die. But they don't realize they're just going to come right back. It doesn't matter. That's the point of this archetypal message here. That's why none of them are actually hurt and they're using wands instead of swords, because wands are fire, spirit. The fight, any fight, is all for our spiritual expansion. Okay? And some people are struggling with this lesson right now and they're like, I don't trust in timing. I don't trust in divine timing. It's all bullshit. I don't know how I'm going to make it through and everything is messed up and I don't know when to do this or when to do that or what to say. And so they're struggling. They're not surrendering and trusting. Instead, we can just trust each moment perfect. Each moment perfect. Everything comes in cycles and seasons. This too shall pass. Okay, so let's focus on the positive aspects of this story. We're trusting in perfect timing and unfolding of the divine plan as we move forward into the middle of this war that we've been creating from the beginning of time, okay? We initiated this war in the very beginning. It was an initiation within our creation. And now we're initiating a new cycle as we step into the worst part of the war, as we step into this shit that we're experiencing everywhere, this whole world in turmoil. We're going to face it finally once and for all. And this is happening in the eye of our mind, yo. Our collective mind. So we're opening up the collective third eye. We're wide open. And we're looking at the center of it all. The great war right there, looking at its face, the face of the beast. The devil himself. And we're saying, within this initiation, okay? Within this initiation of this war that we manifested a long time ago, I'm creating another initiation. I'm initiating a new cycle within this cycle to end it all. I'm going to go right into the war because I know how to find it. It's inside of me. And I'm going to go right to it. I'm going to face it so that I can disarm it. Me, disarm myself. When we all do this, wow, a big change is going to come. I think it's because we've all been looking at it from different angles. Like, we all just have to make peace. We all just have to make peace. Yes, but we have to go to the beast and make the peace. We have to go to the worst parts of it and face that. And shake hands with it, and hug it, and hold it, until it dissolves. So it's like a little tweaking of our collective beliefs around this understanding. And if we individually do this together, we can create a big shift here. I'm really seeing this, you guys. It's like this one little missing piece, and it's about to be shown to us in this new cycle that we're stepping into here. So don't forget, just remember that everything that we're stepping into right now is an opportunity to learn that the war has always been there. And it's something we're so familiar with, which is exactly why we need to use it and alchemize it into its opposite of peace. How silly, how could we forget? We're so busy just focusing on the love, right? Because if we just focus on the love, then everything else will fall away, right? Yeah. And then a lot of people started talking about spiritual bypassing and but you know what? That separated us even more. And we got even more nasty with each other, and it made us grow distant from each other and want to kill each other. Even more war. Instead, why ignore one or the other? Why not bring them together? And this is exactly what this next cycle is going to show us. And we've been getting that message already. I know I have. Let me know if I'm wrong. But that's the key. The key lies in the opposite, okay? We have to look at the fear to look at the neutralizing thought. We have to fully look at the fear to fully look at the neutralizing thought. The more we see the fear, the deeper we go into that Piscean hidden fear, then the higher we'll rise. The higher we will resurrect. So let's really face our fear head on. Let's get this war going. Bring it out of us, okay? Because it's in us individually and collectively. Let's bring it up and out in a way that's loving and gentle, but truthful and honest and forward. A balance of the pillars of mercy and severity. Be honest and real, but also be loving and kind. And when we get all that truth out and all that inner conflict out, then we can all look at it together. And yeah, we can argue. Bring out your passion. I want to see it, because if I know and you know, we know that we are one, and we're doing this for the good of that one, then bring it on. Bring it up, bring it out. Don't be mean. That's not going to get anyone anywhere. But be forward. I can take it, because I know that this is for me. Thank you. Thank you. This is big, you guys. So, the vision that I want to use to summarize this reading for what is to come in the next cycle is a big collective third eye. Okay, so if you close your eyes, and last night DJ and I were listening to this video, or it was the night before perhaps, and it was a really awesome, simple way to tune into your third eye. We just close your eyes and you think of this little spot, the little indent above your, and in the middle of your upper lip. You can even put your finger there. Where that is, where that line is where your third eye is in there, okay? So it's very simple. You can do whatever you want. That's just something I wanted to suggest because I really liked that exercise. Just tune in there, see us and the collective universal mind and your mind connecting to it. All pieces to this puzzle, okay? Now we're in the third eye of the unified collective mind. And we're opening it today on 333. All at once, so that we can move to tomorrow, which will serve as like the 4, right? 333 leading to the 4, the final leg to create the foundation of the future. Together we open our third eye as one unified mind to see the depths of our darkness and the beast that is the face of this war that we initiated from the beginning of time. As we fully face this beast with eye wide open, we activate the inner magician and we alchemize that energy until it dissolves as love back into all of us. To neutralize war, we bring more peace. Let's do this. We're ready. We know what this war really is. Happy new moon, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I very much look forward to hearing about all of your stories and experiences on this journey as we move forward in this exciting time. Shalom.